Hello garden friends, and welcome to my channel, DK's Garden Oasis. For those that don't know me, my name is Debbie. I garden in Zone 5B, southwest suburbs of Chicago. On my channel, I hope to inspire you to bloom, grow, and conserve in your garden. Do you want to create a pollinator garden? On this video, I will be sharing how to start a pollinator garden and why you need pollinators in your garden. I'll also share an interesting fact about hummingbirds, so make sure you stay till the end. So what is pollination and why is it important? Pollination is the process of moving pollen from one flower to another of the same species, which produce fertile seeds. Somewhere between 75 to 95% of all flowering plants need to be pollinated, some being pollinated by wind or water, and some are self-pollinating. However, most flowering plants depend on bees, butterflies, and animals for pollination. Why use native plants in your pollinator garden? Pollinators have evolved with native plants, which are best adapted to local growing season, climate, and soils. Hummingbirds sip nectar from long tubular honeysuckle flowers, while green sweat bees prefer open-faced sunflowers. Non-native plants may not provide pollinators with enough nectar or pollen, or may be inedible to butterfly or moth caterpillars. Interesting fact: insects and other animals pollinate 1/3 of the food we eat. So that means pollinators are responsible for bringing in 1 out of 3 bites of food. The economic value of insect pollination worldwide is valued at approximately $217 billion. The bumblebee and other pollinators are called keystone species because they are what other species depend upon. Pollinators are vital to maintaining a healthy ecosystem. Bees are by far the most effective pollinators because they feed on only flowers. Bees gather 2 kinds of food from flowers: sugar-rich nectar to fuel their flight, and protein-rich pollen or bee bread to feed their young. Bees use their tongues to lap up or lick nectar. Fun fact: tomatoes, peppers require a special behavior called buzz pollinating, in which the female grabs the flower in her jaws and vibrates her wings to dislodge trapped pollen in the flower's anthers. Bees are attracted to blue, purple, white, and yellow. Butterflies are also a great pollinator for your garden, and they not only need the adult food for the butterflies, but also host plants for the females to lay their eggs on and are food for their growing caterpillars. For example, milkweed is the only host plant for the monarch. There are many different varieties, but check out your region and the specific type of milkweed that's best grown in your zone. For the black swallowtails, I grow anything out of the carrot family, so that would be your dill, fennel, parsley, carrot. Fun fact about the black swallowtail: swallowtail caterpillars rear up and extend 2 horns called the ostomeria. I'll put that above, from its head to frighten off potential predators. Butterflies prefer flat-shaped blooms and are attracted to white, pink, purple, yellow, orange, or red. Sphinx moths, or also called hawk moths or hummingbird moths, look like a hummingbird but are in fact a moth. And a fun fact about the sphinx moth is they are great flowers and have some tongues longer than their bodies. They prefer pale or white flowers that open in the evening and have a strong sweet smell. And they absolutely love my bee balm, and that's usually when I see them. They pick up pollen on their legs and wings. Hummingbirds. Hummingbirds also like your tubular flowers, and they prefer the color red. They will actually go towards any kind of tubular flower like salvias. They love as well. And another fact about the hummingbird is you do not want to use the red dye in your nectar. A lot of places do sell that, but it's definitely not necessary and can be harmful. So you can just make your nectar out of regular table sugar and water. Hummingbirds also need a lot of insects in their diet as well for protein. Pollinator populations are changing due to nesting habits and loss of habitat, along with pollution, misuse of chemicals, disease, and climatic patterns that are continuing to be shrinking and shifting pollinator populations. And of course, there are other kind of pollinators like your birds, your bats, small mammals, wasps, flies, beetles. Here are some examples of some great native pollinating plants you might want to put in your garden. Anise hyssop, asters, bee balm, blazing stars, milkweed, butterfly weed, penstemon, Joe Pye weed, lanceleaf coreopsis, purple coneflowers, Rebecca, and goldenrod. So what can we do for our pollinators? Homeowners, local government, national government, and private companies can change the future for pollinators. And how you can start is by starting a pollinator garden. It doesn't have to be large. Every little bit does count. And I'm going to link in the description box below the pollinator site. That's where I got this shirt for Pollinator Week, which was about 2 weeks ago. And so you can check that site out for more information as well. So what's the steps in building a pollinator garden? First, you plan your design. You choose your location. Sun or partial shade with protection is best from the wind. Identify your soil type and sunlight that will determine the kind of plants you grow. Research varieties of milkweed and wildflowers that are native to your area. Determine whether you want to plant seeds or plants. Seeds are more economical but will require more time. Nursery started plants will cost more, but it will bring pollinators into your yard during the same growing season. Next, you want to prep your garden. Add nutrient-rich compost soil to improve the success of your garden. Plant seeds and flowers. If you're using seeds in the fall or winter are ideal times to get started. In the fall, you disperse the seeds and cover with the soil. In late winter, scatter seeds right over the snow. If you're starting with small plants, follow your frost guidance. Dig holes big enough for the root system, cover and reinforce with soil or compost, and add mulch to reduce weed growth. So I hope this video inspires you to grow a pollinator garden and why it's so important to have pollinators in your garden. So give it a like and share with your pollinating loving friends. Spread the word to help save our pollinators. I'm going to be having future videos on raising butterflies. I currently raise just 2 types of butterflies, the monarch and black swallowtails. I have been raising the black swallowtails for about a month now, and I just released my first female. I haven't seen any monarchs yet, but it should be any day. I looked last year when I saw them, and it was July 13th, and currently we're July 5th, so pretty soon. If there's something you'd like to know about raising caterpillars, put it in the comments below and I will answer those questions in a future video. Next week I will be finally having a July summer garden tour, so make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell for those future videos. In the next couple months I will be doing a couple field trips, so make sure you're following along. Now I'd like to share that interesting fact about hummingbirds. Thanks for watching and happy gardening. Bye-bye.